If you watch all of this video, I think you'll be quite impressed by what Tesla has done here. Even if you own a BYD or an Xpeng or a Zeekr, General Motors, a Chevy Equinox EV, no matter what car you've got, you can face these problems. Yeah? Tesla did not need to make these changes in their EVs. Really, they didn't really need to, but they did. But it's other car manufacturers that need this change to their cars. This needs to be a software feature on other cars, and they aren't doing it. And this is causing cars to be stranded. This is causing owners of some EVs very frequently to become stranded and to just go, what the hell? Why won't my electric car work? Why is it broken? What has just happened? They're totally baffled by this. It's actually happened to me. It's happened to me with an EV that I owned. It was not a Tesla. It was another brand, Dongfeng it was. And I had no idea. I was thinking, what the heck why won't this vehicle start? It doesn't make any sense. The battery has power in it. The battery is 50% charged, but it's not working. Here's why, and here's what Tesla has done to prevent this problem happening to their vehicles. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Tesla have just made a fix to their electric cars with a new software update. I think it's a good update. A lot of Tesla owners have complained about this issue, but to be honest, Tesla owners have complained about it. I understand where they're coming from, but the problem is actually worse with non-Tesla EVs. This is something that I think other car makers should look at what Tesla have done here, and not all of them, but many car makers should look at this fix that Tesla have put in and consider doing the same things themselves. Now, I'll mention why that is and why when you personally buy an EV, you need to think about what battery is in the car. Now, I'm not talking about the battery that actually makes the wheels go, the big battery. I'm talking about the 12-volt battery. A lot of people actually get very stressed out, have some pretty big problems because some EVs have bad batteries. And I mean, the 12-volt battery is really a big problem. And it's a bigger problem than internal combustion cars because electric cars are kind of like software on wheels. They do all this stuff for you. You can do other updates. They have things that are turned on when you're not even driving the car. Now, imagine heading off on vacation, leaving your Tesla parked and returning to discover the battery has drained itself a bit. Usually it's not going to be a problem, but sometimes it can be a frustrating scenario that owners have had to deal with. And Tesla is pulling out a fix for this. This new feature is called low power mode, designed to switch off energy hungry systems when a car is left idle for an extended period. You may think to yourself, the car's idle, can't use that much power, can it? Can't be that much of an issue, surely. Well, you'd be surprised. It actually is. Many automakers have been faced with massive customer complaints because of cars using power when they are not actually being driven. And it's actually a fair bit of a drain on the battery. Introduced with the 2025.32 software update, lower power mode can be accessed through the main infotainment display, navigating through controls, charging, and then enabling it. When you turn it on, the system shuts off some of Tesla's most power-hungry features. So what does it actually turn off? And what's using so much power? Well, probably the biggest drain on power in EVs these days is one of their best features. So you kind of, you can't have your cake and eat it. You've got to actually pay for it at the same time. Sentry mode. So my Xpeng G6 has Sentry mode like Teslas do. And Sentry mode's awesome because if someone damages your car, it's happened to me recently. Someone crashed into my car when it was stationary. And if I'd had Sentry mode turned on, I stupidly didn't. But if I'd had it turned on, then the police would have been able to find who these people were and make them pay for the damage they caused to my car. So this system is really handy to capture footage if your car is damaged while it's parked. And it's been shown, though, to drain the battery pack to some degree. Not massively, but it does cause a small drain. In addition to Sentry mode being disabled with low power mode turns off the summon standby system, cabin overheat protection, scheduled preconditioning, camp mode, climate control, defrost functions, the seat and steering wheel heaters, and the power outputs as well on the Cybertruck. Owners, well, they probably find out that if you enable low power mode while charging your EV, Sentry mode will continue to function. The climate control and camp mode systems will also remain active when you're actually supercharging. Really, this is a scenario where you turn this on if you're in your garage. You're in a private property, you're somewhere where you're just not around other cars. It's a situation where no one's going to actually damage your car. You don't actually need Sentry mode. Low power mode does not make a new Tesla feel like an old car, far removed from AI, the cloud, or any of the systems that that have become commonplace in new cars. Tesla vehicles will still remain connected and accessible through the Tesla app. The car will also continue to automatically manage its battery temperature. Tesla haven't said how much the new low power mode will reduce battery drain, but it's probably going to depend on which car you've got and really depend on probably the size of the battery as well. Anyway, this is a good feature because I think people will find that your car can actually drain more power than you might think. If you're away, let's say you leave your car at an airport, you can come back a few weeks later and find that your battery's been drained pretty significantly, which could be a bit stressful. You can be thinking, what's going on here? Here's the thing though, Tesla used to get a bit of criticism for their 12-volt batteries being a problem. They had lead acid 12-volt batteries, which most cars have now. In fact, internal combustion cars, 99% of them have a lead acid 12-volt battery. They shouldn't. It's ridiculous that they do. In fact, it's an absolute joke because you can get a sodium-ion battery now. It's the same price. So manufacturers are just being lazy. They could improve their supply chains and put sodium-ion batteries in them, and it wouldn't cost them any more money. And those batteries would be far better than these rubbish lead-acid batteries that they had in cars today. So Tesla was facing criticism for these lead-acid batteries, which everyone had. So I thought that criticism was a bit unfair. And Tesla responded by changing those batteries to lithium-ion, which meant the 12-volt battery, was less likely to be drained. Now, here's the thing. Your 12-volt battery is the battery that runs all these features, It's not actually the big battery pack. So that's the problem with EVs. And you'll find there's been a lot of issues with this with Hyundai and Kia cars, where they've had problems with a 12-volt battery draining prematurely and having to replace them because they draining too much. It's not just Hyundai and Kia though. There's many brands that have gone through this problem. And these brands, rather than actually doing what Tesla did, which they should do, replacing the battery with a lithium-ion battery or a sodium-ion battery, they've just stuck with them. So when you buy a new EV, just keep that in mind. If you've got software features which are really great, the app features are awesome, Sentry mode's great, you can get a drain on your 12-volt battery and you can prematurely have to replace that lead-acid 12-volt battery, meaning a cost to you. But the cost to you it's probably more the hassle to you. When you come to your car, and you've gone to the airport or you've been away from your car for a while and you figure that your 12-volt battery's actually died. Your 12-volt battery's died. No charge left in it. And you've got to get a jump start. You've got to get someone, you've got to fix the problem. And that's an issue that can be quite stressful. Now, just having to replace your 12-volt battery, if you know you've got to replace it prematurely, it's not a big deal. You can replace it, but generally you don't know. Generally, you don't know that your 12-volt battery is dying and you're going to have to replace it because of this excessive power drain on your battery. So this is a really good feature that I think all manufacturers, especially manufacturers that are using lead-acid batteries as a 12-volt battery, this is something they should be doing. It's more important for them to do it than Tesla because, like I said, Tesla's 12-volt batteries now are lithium. But there's still many manufacturers using lead-acid batteries as a 12-volt battery with their electric cars. They should be focusing on this more than Tesla should. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.